welcome everyone to today's session. And with us today we have Thomas Mutumi and Michael Jerry. And with us today they will be treating or talking about smart contracts and how to set up a smart contract wallet. And then Michael Jerry will be talking about NFTs, how to mint and list your first NFT on Freeton blockchain. So welcome everyone. So Mr. Thomas, take us on the smart contract aspect because we have some of the participants from the ABI hackathon being sponsored by Freeton. Finals is scheduled to hold next month ending, which is April ending. So there are some that couldn't go on with the hackathon that dropped out. They didn't meet some of the requirements along the line. So this smart contract aspect is for them. And then everyone loves NFT. NFTs basically the rave now in the crypto world. See NFTs being sold for thousands of dollars. We ask how come? It's just a picture. There is more to it. NFTs it's the new trend now. It's the new, call it the new oil in crypto, but then it's the new rave right now. So welcome, Thomas. Thomas, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. And so we're going to look at an example of a smart contract, and I'm going to show you one that you currently use, and of course how you use it. And you're going to set up an example or begin the steps of setting up one. So as I mentioned earlier or in the previous tutorial that we had or meeting we had last week at the same time, a smart contract is basically a piece of code that runs on the blockchain. So for example, in this case, we are going to interact with one. So whenever you have time, just visit this link. I'm just going to share it in chat. It's the TonSurf main link where you can create a free account so that at least you can send some tons, receive some tons, and tons are money. So basically this application or this website allows you to send and receive money. You can also do some other things in there like chatting and so on. So first of all, I'm going to log out. I'm going to create a wallet. I'm going to say that I have accepted, of course, confirm. We're just going to create a normal PIN, like something like that. Of course, this is what you'd also do. And I'm actually getting to show, I'm going to a point where I can show how this, how this wallet works, how this particular application works, uses an aspect of smart contracts, in this particular case, a wallet smart contracts. So this is it's just a wallet whereby you can receive, like for example, I can copy that and I'm going to send, I think I'm going to send 1 ton there. So we can all at least see. So this is a smart contract. It is a piece of code running on the blockchain because tons exists on the blockchain. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to go on my other wallet, and I think I'm going to send about 1 ton to this wallet that we just created. So let's see if we can do that. Amount 1, 2. Don't worry about this. Confirm and send. Let's see if it sends. Okay, let's see if it sends. So this is the wallet, the Ton wallet that I've shared the link in. Okay, chat made on Ton. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Do they charge like microtons for chatting and sending? No, they do not. No, they do not. But you can make an app that does that. So let's just reload and see if we received our assets. Okay, we're just going to use the same thing. You see, now we have 1 ton in here. So that's our balance. So what I did is opened, of course, the TonSurf main URL there, created a wallet, and then I sent some tons to myself. So there are a few things that happened in that particular instance. We created the wallet one, and then we were able to send tons to it. So you can think of those things as actions. So there's the action of creating the wallet, and of course, when you create a wallet, you can send tons to it. So this is a very, very good example of a smart contract. And this particular smart contract is called a wallet contract. And I'm going to show you how we can get from, of course, using the instructions provided in the GitHub and all that, so that we can at least end up with something that looks like this. So again, as I mentioned, this is a smart contract. The wallet is a smart contract. It can, of course, do other things. You can chat, you can have friends, and all that type of thing. So what you are going to do is you are going to look at the specific contract and the link where it is. So the link is this one here. That's the link. A smart contract is just a piece of code. In this case, typically it's just a file. Don't worry too much about it. A smart contract is just a file before you deploy it on the blockchain. So you can find even more contracts there. So this is how the contract looks like. Don't worry if you don't understand what it means. That is okay. But this is what it looks like. So it's something like that. So if you were to take this piece of code or this file or whatever we are seeing here and compile it, do some magic to it, then we'd put it on the blockchain, then we would have our own address and we'd be able to use that address to send tons to, of course, another wallet and so on and so forth. You can do very, very many things with smart contracts. It is not only just, of course, sending tons. There are so many things you can do. You can do even banks. You can create a banking application. So when you see the smart contract, just think of it as an application. You can actually create an application to do chatting on the blockchain. So these are, you'd use a contract for messages and so on. And another interesting one, you can create one that stores data. You can have like an application that stores the number of students in a class and it just runs on the blockchain. So to do something like that, you'd have to compile a contract which does those sort of things. So the structure of a contract would, of course, is just some piece of code. And of course, when you're talking to the contract, like for example, if we come back here and we look at this wallet, the contract wallet. So when you want to send tons, like that, for example, the one that I did, you did a destination address. Of course, the destination address is this particular, it's actually this one. This is the destination address. This is the one that you'd put here. So that, of course, the money goes. And then here you'd put the value of the tons that you want to send. So we'd put something like 1 ton. And for the bounce thing, we'd put, in this case, we'd put false. So don't worry about that. So just focus on these two. To send transactions, you need a destination and a value. Of course, it knows the person sending is you or the owner of the contract. So at least if you understand that, of course, a contract, before you deploy it, it is just a file on your PC. So the next thing I want us to try and do is to try and compile a contract. When you compile a contract, just simply you're preparing to deploy it or to put it on the blockchain. Before a contract is on the blockchain, it is just a file on your computer. So I'm just going to share this link here. There's another link there. I'm going to talk through the instructions and I'm going to try to be, as light on them as possible so that at least we all understand. So this is the same smart contract we saw here. It is the same thing we've seen here. So what you're going to do, you're going to copy all of these. You're going to copy those files. What you're going to do is we're going to come maybe on a drive folder here, and you're going to create a new file. So you do this on your computer too. What's the difference between an address starting with EZ and OX? I don't know. Maybe you can look and tell me the difference between those. So I'm just going to call this wallet.sol, something like that. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my notepad, open my notepad application. The same way you'd open any file, and you're going to drag this and put it here. It is empty. So again, we just come here, copy this contract information here, all of it. If you click here, it copies for you. So we just copy all of that. So we copy all of that, and then we just save that, Control S. Just save that, and then here we are. This is our contract file. So if we were to open our contract file again with Notepad, we just drag it here. You can see this code. The code there is similar to the code here. So what we've done, of course, we've taken that smart contract which was online, and of course we've put it on our computer. So if we can close it. If we open this window here, this you can save this file anywhere on your computer, by the way. doesn't have to be here. So let's open a new notepad so that at least we can track where this wallet is. So if you've ever known anything about paths, you can just come here on your Windows PC, or if you're using Linux or anything similar. If you come here, you can see where every file is saved. For example, if I was to right click on this and go to properties, I can see where the file is. It's on the D drive. I hope we can all at least understand that. Yeah, stop drawing. Please don't draw. Please do not draw, ladies and gentlemen. Don't draw on the screen. Everyone can see that. So we can all see where everything is saved. You know where your file folders are or your picture folders are. So if we right click on this, as properties, we can see it's on D. So if you want to save the path for this particular wallet, you can just copy that, put it here, and then we know it is just copy the whole of that. Now this is basically what we've done here. Anywhere on our computer, if you were to write a program that opens this particular file, you know it's under drive D, and this is of course the wallet code that I showed earlier. So again, the wallet code will allow the wallet contract, will allow us to, of course, send tons. And of course, this type of contract, or this piece of code right here, it is basically the one that's being used to send tons here. And I'm going to take us from a place whereby we are looking at an application like this, or in that particular sense, so hopefully we can make something, your own application that can send tons, and you can use that to build your own other ideas. So of course, now we have the contract code. So how do we compile? Okay, so the instructions to compile are written there. So the instructions to compile are written there. So these are the instructions. So you can just copy them. Again, we come back here. I'll show you how to decode them, so that at least they make better sense. So this is the instructions on, of course, how to compile your wallet. So what the final item here is, of course, where the wallet is on your computer. And as we saw earlier, the wallet is right here on our D folder. Here it is. So what we can do, because we now know how to work with paths, I'm going to copy that, replace it here. And of course, now the other thing that we want to do is, of course, find the command solc. So solc is a command provided by the compilers of course, of Freeton or Ton Labs. So it's a compiler. I already have it installed. I'm going to show you how it looks like. So I have it installed right here. Sorry, here it is. Solidity compiler. Solc. Yeah, sorry. Here it is. So if I was to come here and type cmd, and then I type the command solc, you can see we have it installed. Don't worry about how you are installing it. If you would like to know how to install it, I would highly recommend that you come here. Sorry about that. This is actually where you install it. I'll post that there. If you have any trouble installing it, please join the Discord and I'll help you install it. But that's how you install it. You install the compiler using those commands there. If they don't make sense, just hit me up on Discord. I'll help you install them. So at least we are together up to there. And now we know where, of course, our compiler is, and of course where our file to compile is. So you are right here. So we are where we can, of course, sorry about that, let me close this. We are where we have installed our Solidity compiler, and we know these are the directions to, of course, compile. So what you are going to do, the command is compile, is solc, of course, sol, and then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, because this is our path to, of course, where the file is. I'm going to press that, and I'm going to change this so that at least everyone knows where the path is. Then I'm going to hit enter. So when you hit enter, it's so now you've compiled that particular contract, and you are ready, of course, to put it onto the blockchain. So when you compile a contract, let's look at the files that are formed. You get two files. These are the files that you get: an ABI file and a contract or a wallet.code file. So I'm just going to copy this so that at least we are all together, and I put them here. So let us look at what we've done. Of course, we looked at how the tones app works, how you can, of course, now move tones and all that. We identified what works under the application or under the hood, so that at least we can be able to make something similar. And we saw that it is the wallet contract. So this is the contract. And then we compiled it. I showed you the commands to compile it. So the next thing you want to do is, of course, now you want to assemble it. To assemble it, you need something that is called a TVM linker. This is the TVM linker. I'm just going to take the link. Again, I'm going to post it here. Again, if you have any troubles installing it, please let me know. But that is what we need, the TVM linker, to be able, of course, to go to the next step, which is assemble the link, the library into TVM bytecode. So TVM bytecode, don't worry about what that means too much, but basically the blockchain code is compiled into something that is called a Tone virtual machine. So a Tone virtual machine just reads of course, the code that you've compiled. In this case, the code that we compiled. Remember, we got this and we made this too. So this is the code that we compiled. So we'll be working with this. Again, in the same spirit, we know where the file is. So if I was to come here, I will know that it's under D. And of course, it is stroke that. And then wallet.code. There we are. We can see everything is here. So the other one would be, of course, D. It is very important that, of course, you keep track of where the paths are. And again, if you have trouble installing any of this, let me know in the Discord. I will be able to help you out. So the other item will be abi.json. So there we are. So this is just a way of knowing where any particular file is. If you've used a computer for long enough, I'm sure you can do all of this. So let's get back here and let's have a look at, of course, how to use the TVM linker so that we can generate some bytecode, which we can use, of course, to deploy our contract or our wallet onto the blockchain, so we can be able to send some tones. So this is a command: assemble and link with the standard library into the TVM bytecode. The TVM bytecode, it's a TVC file, which you'll see how it looks like. So again, I'm going to bring that here so that we can be able to decode it. There we go. So the command to compile is the TVM linker. I also have it installed. Again, if you have troubles installing it using the link that I've provided, on the Discord is where you can find me, and I'll be able, of course, to help you install it. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to type CMD. If I type TVM linker, the command here, linker, let's see what happens. Yeah, it tells us it's in a command, so we are inside the right place. Again, if you have troubles installing it, let me know. So the TVM linker command is TVM linker compile the wallet code. We know the wallet code is here, so we are just going to replace this, copy and replace it like so. And then the last part, Tone Solidity compiler, you're going to look for this in our installation. So number one, if you manage to install the compiler, just come somewhere here where you install it. I'm going to have a look. I have mine installed here. If you open it, you'll find a folder called lib. So this is where this is the path to this particular item, to the path to. So we're just going to copy it and paste it there. And there we go. So our command is ready. So if we copy all of this and come to of course, the TVM linker and paste it and press enter, we can see saved contract file to this. So this is our contract file. So if we come here again, let's go back to where we ran the TVM linker from. If we come here, you can see the file we generated. You can see it's 34C something something. The most important part is the .tvc. Now that is the bytecode. So again, we are going to copy this so that we are neat. We paste it here, and then you can see we got from having just the wallet contract, we got the ABI and code, and now we have the bytecode. So going back to our notepad, let's keep track where everything is. Just going to copy that, put that there, and then this is the name. I won't bother typing it. I'll just copy the whole thing So at least we know where everything is. Again, you're going to paste that there. Perfect. Everything is in order. Now let us look at the next step. Now we want to deploy this word address. Now we want to get to the place whereby we don't have a wallet on the blockchain. We have a wallet. Then we have a wallet on the blockchain. Again, in the same way in which we logged in here, now we are going to deploy it. But this is how everything works under the hood. This is the engine of the car, to say something like that. So here you need the TonOS CLI tool. I'm going to post the link to how to install this. It's just up here. Again, if you have trouble installing this particular one, let me know. This is it. So you need 3 things to be able to work with smart contracts. Those are the ones to install. But as you can see, the commands are quite easy. If you get a hang of this one, nothing else will disturb you, my friend. It will be so easy. So we've done this. Now you want to deploy. So let us look at where, again, in the same way, let us go to where we install our CLI tool. I know it's here. So here it is. So I'm just going to open it. I'm just going to type CMD. Then I'm going to type TonOS-CLI. You can see there it is, the 3 things that we need. You need the linker, compiler, and of course, the CLI tool. But as we do more examples, I'll show you better ways of doing it. But this is the basis of learning how to write your smart contracts. At least try to install one of those things. If you have troubles, let me know. So we can see generate address and keyphrase for your contract. So we are going to do that. We are going to copy this, and then we are going to come here. This is a command. Then we are going to decode it. Let us see what it's asking for. Okay, it's asking for the TVC file. We know the TVC file is this one. So we are just going to copy this, paste it there, and then what you are going to do, it's asking for the wallet ABI.json. We know it's here. Again, just replace them to make sure they are in the right place in your computer where you need them. And then, of course, it's going to generate a few files or the keys to that. So we are going to copy, we're going to do this. We're going to make sure that the keys that are generated are, of course, somewhere where we can see them, and we're going to put them in our D drive. So we're just going to copy that. Again, I hope you've seen how we decode the commands. Just replace every item here with a file on your computer. With a file on your computer. I think it's being recorded. Let me just confirm.
Yes,
yeah, I think it's
being recorded.
Being recorded.
Being recorded.
Yeah. So if again, you just copy this command and make sure that you replace it with the right tools. Just try to do 1 or 2 of these things. If you have any troubles, let me know. I understand it can be quite can be daunting at first, but after you get a hang of it, you'll be able to do anything you want on the blockchain. This is actually this is like the entrance exam into understanding how Freeton works, or any of the Ton Lab contracts that are available. So we're just going to copy this. Let's see what happens. You're in the CLI tool. I'm going to paste that, press enter, and there you can see our seed phrase. This is our seed phrase. And if you come to our D folder here, we can see we have some keys. These are the ones that we generated here. So there we are. So of course, now we have our address, but our address does not have money. By the way, our address does not have money, or our account doesn't have money. So we can check out if your address has money. We just use the CLI tool. So let's come here. We're going to put that there. Let's save this in our D folder so that at least next time it's easy. We're going to call this commands. So this is the command to check your address. And if we come back here, the CLI tool, let's close, let's keep that open because I want to go over it. If we copy this address here, we're just going to copy it and we paste it here. Again, all the commands, everything given here, it's up to you to replace with the right tools or the right instructions. So if we copy this, I wonder what it will tell us. And we do that. Processing, account not found. Let me get to the other most important part. So whenever, again, as I mentioned earlier, there's nothing free on the blockchain. Everything on the blockchain requires, of course, for you to sponsor it. It requires for you to send some tons and all that sort of thing. So what we are going to do, we are going to, of course, send some tons to this particular address. But what I would like for us to do is, if you have any questions, please ask. Is there any question? If there is none, then maybe we can proceed and have a look at how to deploy it. This is a command to deploy it. But of course, before we deploy it, we need that address to have money in it. So the command to send, of course, money to an address, this is a command. Again, in the same way, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to call my address. Don't worry, I already have an address with some tons in it. It's actually on the testnet. Let me just copy that. So again, every command you see, it's just the part that you need to know is, of course, how to replace everything here. So we know this. We know this part here is the ABI file here. So we're just going to copy this, put it here. You can see everything is in place, and then you're going to sign it. We're going to sign it using our passphrase. I know this is my passphrase for this particular wallet. Just going to copy that. Come back here. Sorry. Come back here. Then I'm going to sign it. And then the amount we are going to send is 10 tons. So it is usually 10. We're going to add 10 there. 10 times it's nano. So 10 times 1 trillion, I think. That's true. We are going to set this to false. There's someone banging a few things. False. And what I'm going to do is, whenever you run instructions with the CLI tool, you always want to make sure you escape every double colon, double, I think the hyphens or quotes, just put that destination address. We are going to put in the destination address there, the value like so, bounce like so. Let me just copy this so that it's easier, and like that. So the destination is, of course, our account here. So copy that. What you want to do is bring it here, paste it, and we just want to copy all of this, run it in the command, and see what happens. So we are going to paste that there. Let's see if we manage to send a few tons. Sorry, it's processing. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, it says successful. So we've sent the money to that address. So what we want to do is check if the account now exists. As you can see, now the account exists. We've managed to send some tons to that particular address. Someone can share the Telegram link with him so that at least he has access to some of us. So let me just recap so that I can wind down. I don't want this to be a long class, what we've done. We saw an example of a smart contract that is in use. So this is a smart contract that the Tonsaf web app makes use of. It makes use heavily. It uses a couple of other smart contracts, but the main one, of course, is sending money. We've tracked down the contract for sending money. We found it here, how everything works, of course, under the hood. We were able to follow these instructions to compile it, and we were able to send a few tons to that particular contract and that particular address. That is how we were able to do it. I'll save these instructions, so at least if you actually watch the Zoom, you can pause and have a look at how we did everything. But make sure you visit the links. If you have troubles installing any of the items that, of course, I shared that you need, please let me know so that I can help you. Every example provided in this particular documentation, it might look like you are running things, of course, in the CMD. We are just, of course, pressing things on a black surface. But eventually, we'll get from doing this, we'll have our own little app that can send tons. And I'll show you guys how to do it. I'm really hopeful that you'll be able at least to install one of the 3 things. If you don't, please hit me up. I'll be happy to assist you and help you make sense of all of that. But basically, that's how it works. That's how, for example, you can send. Now we were able to send tons to that particular address. The next thing I would like us to do, and of course, I would like for us to do it next week so that the class is not extended and at least the conversation is sharp and focused. I would like for us now to deploy another form of contract and be able to send money to one of us. Yeah. Is there any particular question, any query, something someone did not understand? This is the time I can clarify, so that at least we make time for the next speaker. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
So, to add, majority of what happens, like the good part of life, what you see, like the benefit or what people are doing, majority of the work is being put at backstage. That's where they put in the work. So in this session, all we can just do is a brief demonstrations of all that. And of course, Mr. Thomas, as he stated, that if you need any assistance, you can hit him up. He will gladly assist. That's where the real work comes in. So anyone that needs any further guidance can still talk to Thomas, and then maybe talk to me, and then we can know how we can schedule a session for you guys going forward. So I would like to, at this stage, welcome Michael Jerry, who will be taking us on NFTs and then how to mint and place your first NFT for sale on Freeton blockchain. So, and afterwards, we can do the question and answer segment where people get to win some funds. So the Google form will be dropped by Yanson. So at this point, let me welcome Michael Jerry. Michael Jerry, you're welcome.
Hey guys, good afternoon or good day. A couple of us are in our different countries, so it's cool. So without wasting much of our time, let's get down to business. So today we'll be doing it in practical. Last week we talked about what the concept of non-fungible tokens. We talked about their features, we talked about their history, we talked about their marketplace, we talked about their use cases, and we did an overview of what NFTs are. Then last week, during the session last week, someone asked, how can I turn my digital art into an NFT? So today, we'll be talking about the NFT marketplace, and I'll be showing us in practical. The only practical that will not extend is listing, because listing is crazy right now. A couple of moments before coming to this class, I just tried to list an NFT, on OpenSea, and it's crazy. It's crazy. The fee, it's crazy. I'll show you. Okay, guys, so there are different platforms. There are different platforms where you can mint. There are different platforms where you can actually, sell your digital collectibles. They are referred to as what's open marketplace. This is something related to like decentralization. So it's more of like decentralizing. So there are a lot of platforms. We have our Mintable, we have Cargo, we have Rarible, we have OpenSea. There are different platforms. They all work. They have similarities, and they have their unique SP, their USP rather. So let me close this. So I'll be using OpenSea now. OpenSea is similar to Mintable, but there is something special about OpenSea. OpenSea works with all of these platforms, with Cargo, with Rarible, or with Mintable. So when you create on all these platforms, you can actually come to OpenSea and sell. OpenSea is just like something like the house or the other marketplaces, to be linked with it easily. So now there are a couple of things you need, to create your digital art. The first is you might want to get your art ready, your artwork, maybe music, maybe it's a design or something. You have to get that ready. Then another thing is you need MetaMask. We use our MetaMask. It's more like a decentralized wallet. We're not talking about we have to talk about custodial and non-custodial wallets. We don't want to go through that. But through MetaMask, we can access some special websites. Through the apps, you can access some through websites. So OpenSea is the platform I'll be showing you. We can actually use OpenSea. We can use OpenSea. We can use Mintable. But at the end of the day, similarities with OpenSea and Mintable, I've not used already before. I basically use OpenSea and Mintable. At the end of the day, when you're trying to list, during the minting process, you're not compelled to pay any gas fee. But to list your NFT at the end of the day, you have to pay some gas fee. First time on OpenSea, you have to pay gas fee, and it's really, really, really something crazy right now. So if you're using Chrome, go to your browser, look for MetaMask extension. MetaMask is a wallet. Create your wallet. Once you create your wallet, and during the process of creating your wallet, you'll be given some backup phrase or some seed phrase, and sure they are well written down, because if you lose access to your wallet, that's the only way you can actually retrieve your your wallet. So you can see from here, I have my own MetaMask already as an extension linked to my Chrome. That's what number one thing you have to get ready. Get your hat ready, get other things you'll be needing ready. So now, without wasting much of our time, let me quickly show you how to do this on what's OpenSea. On OpenSea, I've set up my account prior now. On OpenSea, it's easy. If this is your first time, you just have to understand that. Get your MetaMask ready, ensure to have the extension for Chrome. It's easier using the extension on Chrome. Get it ready, link it up, so that you can. It's more like click yes, then click yes, connect, click yes for you to link your OpenSea. It's not really creating an account, but if you're using a Mintable, you'd actually need to create an account. Set username. Once you're done with your username, you'll send some verification code to your email. You input the verification code. That's just the basics. It's what anyone can easily handle. It's not stressful. It's more like yes, connect. So now, once you're on OpenSea, now the one thing you want to do is create. Well, first thing first, go to your profile. Just click on my profile. So under your profile now in your wallet, you can see a couple of NFTs you have. If there are NFTs that are associated with your account, these are NFTs, on these accounts that have minted or attempted. Because I try to, you can actually turn your tweet. You can actually turn your tweet on Twitter to an NFT. It's easy. Just go to twitter.com, sign in, create the tweet, tag that nice tweet, then come to your MetaMask, copy your wallet address and put it. So it will reflect on what this is the process for doing this. Let me see if I can log in my Twitter. Okay, so
Michael, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see my screen?
All right.
Yeah, I'm typing.
Yeah,
I'm typing. Yeah. So this is the tweet that I plan on using. Just click on the tweet. It's simple. Then go to your profile. Now under this tweet, now ensure to go back to your MetaMask. Let me see my MetaMask. I need my wallet address. Okay. This is CH. Okay, so this is what I need. I need my Ethereum wallet address. I copy it. Then I go to. I've copied the. In this sense, just click on it. Can you see? It's highlighted. Copy it. Then go under these tweets. You tag at tokenized tweet. Tokenized tweet. Sorry. Tokenized tweets. Okay, this is it. You can see I'm following them already, so you might want to do that as well. Tokenized tweets, paste. You can see, tag them, paste your wallet address, and click on tweets. There are different ways of doing it, of monetizing your tweets. You understand? There are different ways of doing this. You understand? There are different ways. You can find a couple of ways, but this is one I find easier to use. So I just go. That's it. You just wait for the whole thing to quickly provide it. We'll come back, then I will check it will reflect in my wallet. Should reflect in my wallet before the end of this session. But the main thing is how to turn the question is how to turn like your digital image into an NFT. So once you have your profile set up, let's go to my profile. Let me quickly show you an insight into setting up your profile. Once you're here, you might want to design your own marketplace, your own collection store. Yeah, you understand. So just click on this. If you click on this button, you can change your banner. You can edit a lot of things. But that's not the main. That's not a priority. You can leave it the way you want. Just if you find time to do it. It's cool. It's not so. Let's go to the main thing, which is with my collections. This is the process we need now. So I have my I have my collection store. I have it set up before now. So if you want to set up yours, so I told you about OpenSea. You see, it works with Rarible, it works with Mintbase, it works with Cargo, it works with what's Mintable. A couple of these platforms are not, as integrated as they. So you can see, I think even when you talk about NFTs, what people can easily think about first is a result is OpenSea. So if there is time, I'll still show you the same procedure on how to do it on Mintable. I use Mintable. I use OpenSea. So click on create. So you're just setting up your own collection. Click on create. You might want to what do I use as a logo? Yes, okay, my pictures are beautiful, by the way. Okay, so now you can set the name. Let's say we are practicing. The description can be mention anything. The description can be anything. Mention NFTs. Now we proceed from there. Are you guys see my screen? I need to move this. Button. The camera is okay for me. Click on create. So let's wait for, we are waiting for this to actually create. So cool. So once this is done, once you're done with that aspect, this is giving me stress. Just scroll down. You can instantly click on that items. You've got your collection store or set up already, so you can start. So now, let's proceed. Now to turn your song, to turn your collectibles, to turn your wherever you have it into an NFT that you can sell online, the priority right now is your image. You understand? Just click on add new item. Okay, now if you even before now you see why you started when you logged in now, when you log on to OpenSea.io, something like this would have popped up at first, asking you to connect your MetaMask wallet, your MetaMask account to OpenSea.io. You understand? Because you have to link your wallet. Now, this is one thing about decentralization. Your assets are stored in your wallet. There is a couple of things they say when you're talking about trading. We're not actually talking about trading, but let me quickly use that to explain something to you. Now, when we use centralized exchanges, we have a couple of them. Let me just mention a few, like Binance, a couple of centralized exchanges. Now, your assets are stored in their custody. You understand? Your assets are stored in their custody. So when you use a wallet like MetaMask, your asset is stored in your own custody. That means that you can actually make decisions on your own. But when it's your assets are on your on your SEX, that means they are in custody. And what happens is when they get hacked, your assets is gone. The security of your assets is not only in your hands when you are using what SEX. So now, for DEX, it's the contrary. You have full control over your assets. So now, when you're seeing something like this, when you're connecting your wallets, that means your NFTs, they are stored in your wallets. It's not like they are on OpenSea.io. That's why you have to connect your wallet to OpenSea.io. You understand? You have to connect your wallet to OpenSea.io so that you can list to sell at any time while the assets are still in your wallet. That's the beautiful thing about decentralized finance. You have to understand the concept of custodial and non-custodial wallets. That's just the basic thing. So now click on sign. And now we are about turning an image into an NFT. Can you see now? Earlier last week I told you can turn even a video, a short clip into an NFT. Can you see the file supported allows you to use files? This, I think MP3 is for music, audios, and I think the likes of MP4, WebM. You can upload videos. You can see the size. The maximum size is 100 MB. Now, I forgot to tell you something, and this is it. You see, this approach that we are using is what they refer to as a lazy man approach to minting an NFT, or they say a non-coder approach. Understand? They say a non-coder approach to minting your own NFTs. Understand? So it's more like there are a couple of platforms where at every point in time you might end up paying gas fee, but this is different. So let's proceed. Let's quickly proceed. Okay. So let me look for an image. Let me look for an image. I told you earlier, your image must be you must have it somewhere cool that you can easily reach out to. So let me use this picture. Your image could be anything. Could be something you consider very very silly. Could be a picture of a pencil. Could be just a picture of the sky. I told you earlier, what makes people buy NFTs? What their emotions, their sentiments, value placed on what perceived value on the what on the heart. So now, if I believe someone is coming to buy this for 10 ETH, fine, I proceed with it. But you can basically use anything. Just ensure that you have the permission to use such a thing. You cannot just go online. Maybe you steal another person's artwork, you take another person's artwork, and you're trying to use it. NFTs all have what metadata that will expose you at the end of the day. Now, you see, particular thing about this process of creating. I told you NFTs are what they have their information stored on the blockchain as well. You understand? They have their information stored on the blockchain. But when you use this kind of approach, because this standard we are using on OpenSea is ERC 115 standard. When you're creating using this approach, that means what? Until the NFT is purchased, their informations are not really the information about the NFT are not really stored on the blockchain yet. Because this is more like a free approach to creating. So until a value is placed at the end of the day on the NFT, the information is not really what's stored on the blockchain. So let's proceed. The name, the name, anything, maybe, sunning day, can be anything, sunning day, anything you want. If you have an external link that you want to link to your NFTs, maybe a place where people can actually find information about the particular image, maybe you want them to know the location, you have other details you want people to reach out to. So basically, I'm just going to use my own website. This website is no way connected to this image, but I'm using it so that you can understand. So just using this website. The description, one thing you want to be careful if you really plan on selling your NFTs, please ensure your description is catchy. It tells what the value you're placing on the NFTs. I can just put a picture of a video reader. Constantly reading is seeking information that helps people create regions. Yeah, you shouldn't pay attention to my description. This is just what I feel I should put there right at the moment. You can put anything at your description, but just ensure that it is related to the image. These are a couple of things when people are trying to buy your collectibles or NFTs or anything. These are the kind of descriptions that gives them, that tells, that pass the message across. Everything is all about emotions and sentiments. So properties, this is not really so important. You can put the character if you want. I'm not adding this. Another important thing that you want to take a look at is include unlockable content that only can be reviewed by the owner of the item. Last week I told you about something like security of your heart in real world. It's not really solid, because people can actually take your art from Africa, take it to South America, and without your knowledge, they will claim ownership of such art. But on the blockchain, you can see unlockable content, include unlockable content that only can be reviewed by the owner of the item. So this helps you, in a certain way, protect your NFT. Claim ownership at some points in time. Maybe there is some arguments about who the original owner of an NFT is. So you can proceed. It's something that is it's very very wise. So maybe you have a figure and you want to put, maybe could be, I can put any random figure. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the hand. Now you can proceed. Young, can you guys see my screen? I hope I'm communicating.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, now yeah, thank you. So something right now on OpenSea, since this is more like a free approach, is the fact that you see, I told you something like NFTs are non-fungible tokens, but they could exist in multiple supplies. That means that you can have one NFT and you have like 4 copies, you have like 5 copies, you have 10 copies. So now this is the place where you decide that. But right now, since it's more like a free approach, I think OpenSea is still working on this to ensure that at the end of the day you can increase the number. But right now it is locked. You cannot really edit this. But on any platform you decide to use at the end of the day, once you see supply, that's talking about how many copies. do you want for that particular NFT. So moving from there, we click on what create. So now, at every point in time, you have to sign, you have to approve what the transaction you're doing, then what click on sign. Okay, clicking on sign, clicking on sign. Okay, awesome. Now, so the NFT, it's what we just created, we just minted an NFT. Let's open here. Let's open in another browser to see. So maybe you want to sell now, you want to copy your link to sell. Let me move this. Hold on, guys. Let me move this. So you see, can you see? This is it. So this is what minted was an NFT. Can you see? This is it. It's really what. It's really it's really simple. So if you want to sell from maybe proceed, you can see there are no much information. Now I told you this is just the contract address. This is another thing is contract address is that's simple. Everyone understands contract address. Another thing about NFTs, there are some platforms that ask you, just like we host our websites. When we talk about, if you have an idea of web hosting, there is what we call self-hosted and self-hosted websites and non-hosted. The likes of non-hosted. If you remember the early days of .blogspot.com, .wordpress.com, those are what non-hosted. You don't have to host them, you understand. So that means you're just building on their platform. But for self-hosted, there are some contract address that you have to set up yourself. So that means you're hosting it. So that's another thing you have to understand about what contract address, because while you're trying to create on some platform, you see, do you want to set up your contract address, or do you want to use, or maybe the particular, or it's most especially on main table. We should get to that part on main table where you see it, you understand. So that's simple, so you understand. I think it costs extra, it costs you extra, just like if you're hosting your website yourself, you have to pay more, you understand, to pay for the hosting. So most times you just use the contract address of the platform. So that's what I do most times. If you have the money, go ahead and set it up. So this is the NFT. Then let's go back. If you want to sell now, click on sell. Now this is a aspect where this is a aspect that is what's crazy. You see, all to this point now, we've not used Ethereum. We've not used Ethereum we've not paid for any gas. That was why when someone asked me last week, like, do you really use Ethereum when do you have to pay for gas fee when you're trying to create an NFT? Yeah, on some platform, the process is just different. So now let's for you to sell now, you can select your sell method. This means you're selling on what OpenSea. You can take your heart to another platform. Maybe if the market is not strong enough on OpenSea, people are not really coming to check what collectibles, what items are on the OpenSea market. You can list on what elsewhere, maybe on Mintable. That was why I was referring to, like, when you create on OpenSea, you can actually go and sell on other platforms. That's the integration that we saw with Rarible and all of those things. So now you select your sell method. You can set your price. You can click on highest bid. You can click on bundle. Now bundle means you're not just selling that piece of art. Bundle means what? You're selling multiple. Maybe you want to link 3 or more NFTs or 2 more NFTs together and sell together. So now you can use highest bid. Now the highest bid set price means you set a particular price. It can be a fixed price or what's declining. Maybe today your price is 10 ETH, tomorrow it falls down to 9 ETH if no one is here to purchase it. Next tomorrow it falls down to 8 ETH, that's the thing. So now highest bid, now here you set the minimum bid. Then you can choose whether you want to use USDC, you want to use Ether. Let's see what they accept here. Yeah, ETH, USDC and Ether. Just few ETH is okay. Now reserve price, quickly see this. Setting a reserve price creates a hidden limit. If you receive no bids equal to or greater than your reserve price, the auction will end without selling the item. OpenSea is currently refraining from automatically matching auctions listing it. This is just a lot of bullshit. You don't have to spend your whole time. What is just the only thing you have to realize is your reserve price was greater than what minimum bid. So let me show you something. So let's say ETH here. So if your ETH is let's say 11 here, you can put maybe 10 ETH here. You see, this is the only thing. Your item will be auctioned. The highest bidder will win it on Thursday. I'll still show you how to edit the time frame on the something. Now another thing to pay attention to is what your bounties. Now bounties is if someone sees your art and if you, hey, I can market this thing better than the original creator of this, the original person that means this that minted this art, you can actually set a reward for them so that it's more like an affiliate marketing. You know, I told you NFT is just, the concept of NFT is just like e-commerce on the blockchain. That's how I see it as, digital e-commerce on what on the blockchain. It's not that is, you can increase your bounty from 1% to 2%. So this means what OpenSea rewards this amount to registered athletes who referred your buyer. So if at the end of the day someone is referring someone to come and buy your hat, so this person will earn 2.5% of whatever the amount. You can set it whatever the amount you're selling your NFT. So now another thing is expiration date. Since you see this expiration date, I think it's for what you're using what this method to sell. It's always different when you're setting your own price. You understand? Schedule for the future time, your privacy. These are just the kind of orders that we have. It's straightforward. NFT is not complicated. So now, once you're done with this, I think there should be a place for reality. Let me see. Let's say you're setting the time. So after a month, your options will end. If nobody buys at the end of the month, your options will end. That means that your NFT will still be in your wallet address by the way. Now price, trying to see this. I'm trying to look for the reality. Is it here? There should be a reality that allows royalty is this aspect that allows you to earn from resale. It should be around here. Let me see. What's happening? I really can't find that at the moment, but it should be around here. But if you see on any platform where you're trying to maybe list, if you see something like reality, let me quickly explain the concept of reality. Reality is just that if you're selling these arts now, maybe you're selling the art for 10 ETH. Now, if someone buys your art at 10 ETH, and in the future, maybe even 20 years after, if the person decides to sell that NFT to another person, maybe at the rate of 200 ETH, you'll be earning the percentage you set as a royalty. Maybe you set 10%. That means that the person will have to pay you 20 ETH. So maybe even after that, the person who is buying it at 200 ETH decides to sell again. That's the royalties. You can keep on earning royalties at each resale. You understand? That's just the concept. Please, if your microphone is on, can you please mute yourself? Sorry, I need to find the person. Okay, I think it's okay now. So once you're done with all this, once you're done with the settings, the payment method or the method you want, you've selected your payment method, you've set your bounties, you've set your minimum bid or whatever it is. Sorry, I need to find the person whose microphone is on.
I hope you upload my pictures. I'm fooling at my singer.
Sorry, I'm trying to mute. Oh, Young, can you please help from that end? Stauston, can you please help from that end? Someone's microphone is on. Yeah, I think I found the person. Okay, thank you. So now the next thing is to post your listing. Once you're done with all these parameters, click on what? Okay, valid price. Sorry, the details changed while I tried to switch to other kind of orders. It's EH. This is a 10. This is 11. I'm listing for 11 ETH, between 11 ETH to 10 ETH, and I'm saying my thing is for a month, between a month. And I really think we have a lot of chat. I can't open this right now. The next thing is to post your listing. Can you see? So this is how you list on the marketplace. Now, if this is your first time of listing, you have to pay some gas fee. Can you see the gas fee, guys? Can you see the gas fee? The gas fee right now to list these to proceed with listing this item on the marketplaces, one will cost $119. Can you see? This is crazy. This is crazy. I think I only have up to around 70 USDC on my L2 network I used in funding some guys of recent. So now this is crazy. This is the only aspect of NFTs right now that is crazy. So most platforms, for you to list, if it's your first time listing, or for you to even list on a couple of platforms, the only aspect you have to pay gas fee is when you're trying to list. And can you see the gas fee here? So I think that this is the only thing I see that is crazy about NFTs right now. But fine, if the NFT is something you actually plan on selling for 10 ETH, I see 119 gas fee as nothing too or too much of a real big deal for you. So this is just the process. If you have the Ethereum in your wallet address now, next is to what? Approve the transaction, click on confirm, proceed with it, and your artwork is listed on on the OpenSea marketplace. Then someone comes immediately you have a bid, you'll be alerted. Hey, you have a bid. You have someone who just made a bid to buy your maybe your song, your music, or your videos, your artwork at a particular price. So that's just the whole thing. Now another thing is, you see, the awesome thing now is all these platforms, they are not even linked in any way to the Freeton. But now Freeton is, I think Mr. Austin will be at the end of the day providing more update on this. But now Freeton is Freeton it's a blockchain. You understand? You guys you're well familiar with Freeton already. Now Freeton is launching. Freeton has even launched as now. Let me show you. Freeton has launched their own NFT thing as well. I think okay. I'm just going to type the wallet address. Okay. Okay, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Okay. You have not logged in. So this is our Freeton platform. This is our Freeton NFT. This is the first NFT on Freeton, and it's really high. So I think Mr. This Freeton blockchain, I think it's at this point in time, it's new. Maybe in a couple of coming tutorials, we'll be focusing on using the Freeton platform for NFTs as well. As it is right now, I think as it is right now, there are 2,048 unique anime characters, each are created by a neutral network, and they are not all distributed yet. You understand? So you can actually get some waifus. I think crypto waifus are related to like crypto blockchain. You can still get them for like a small fee, or you just have to like come here, click on the top of button. Just started. I think I'm trying to. You have to create an account. Once you're done creating an account, then you log in into crypto waifu. This is, can you see their information? So more info. Sorry, I'm just going to click on these and let's check them out. These are just related to what the Freeton blockchain. Can you see now? See something? This particular something now. It's can you guess the selling approach that this person is using? They are using what? Bid. So you have to place your own words. You have to place your own bid. You have to ensure you have some ton crystals in your wallet address. You have to probably ensure your ton wallet address is linked on your wallet address or on your Chrome as well. The tons of wallet. So you can just use that. You place your bid, then you want to make your bid. So that's so far this is all I understand about this. But for Mr. Austin will be providing more details about this, and in our next class, we'll be touching more and going into these details. So I think we've covered the important aspect of today. So guys, if you have questions, before I give it back to my yoga at the other end, please you can type your question in the chat box or forward it to Mr. Austin so we can answer your questions. So Mr. Austin, can you please take it from here?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. So in order not to take much of our time, I think it will be best I do a practical session for this. I'll do a practical session for this in our next meeting. Let me not stretch the whole meetings any longer. So Mr. Michael has already given some demonstration of this. So I think I will just talk on it next week. We'll do a practical session of this next week, not this week. already have exhausted or gone deep into our time, and I know some we have some schedules they would like to attend to. So next week we'll go detail into this. Okay, you say, what does it mean to mint a coin? To mint a coin is like to create, but they rather use the word mint in place of create for it. So that's another thing. So at this point, I would like to welcome Yason Obe to go ahead and drop the Google form so that you can all fill it up. And then let me reiterate, the form is not about who fills first or who fills last. We use a randomized approach to pick the winner, so everyone has an equal chance. So take your time to fill up the form, to answer the question, and join the groups there. So Yason Obe, can you go ahead please to drop the form for them? Yeah, he has dropped the form. If you're in Freeton with the question, I'll be glad to answer, and I'll be happy to answer the question. So I believe we are done for today. Every winner is going to be contacted. You've provided your contact details, so we'll reach out to you for you to get your reward. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Sorry, the meeting had to take a break from me because of the network issue. So thank you all for coming. Thank you. Next week, we'll be going to a practical session with the Freeton NFT aspect of it. And then to add waifu or the waifu side of it, when they started, actually they were using 20 tons to mint an NFT, and then it went high to 40 tons. So the thing is that those that minted at 20 now, if they are selling, they are already on profit. So that's how it goes. That's how the thing goes. So next week we'll delve into it more in depth, and then we'll look at it. So thank you everyone for coming. Have yourselves a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you all, and bye.